Guo Xiang's commentary on the Zhuangzi, the ultimate guide to the Tao. If you stop and confine yourself to one place, you will develop prejudices. Therefore, if we realize that our nature and destiny are what they should be, we will have no anxiety and will be at ease with ourselves in the face of life or death, prominence or obscurity, or an infinite amount of changes and variations, and will be in accord with principle. The ordinary people will consider it lack of simplicity to harmonize all the changes and variations, but the sage knows how to bring them into harmony. The sage does not accumulate for himself. The more he uses for others, the more he has himself. The sage is not concerned with himself, but with the world. The world is not concerned with him, but with the Tao. The Tao is like a river, ever flowing, ever changing, yet always the same. The sage is like a boat, moving with the current, yet always in control. The sage does not seek fame or fortune, but lives a simple life in harmony with the Tao. The Tao is the source of all things, and the sage knows how to tap into its power. The sage is like a mirror, reflecting the world without judgment or bias. The sage knows that everything is connected, and that all things are one. Flow with whatever may happen, and let your mind be free. Stay centered by accepting whatever you are doing. This is the ultimate. A path is made by walking on it. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everyone will respect you. To the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. He who is contented is rich. The wise man is neither certain nor uncertain about anything. The greatest happiness you can have is knowing that you do not necessarily require happiness. Happiness is the absence of the striving for happiness. The joy of life comes from our encounters with new experiences, and hence there is no greater joy than to have an endlessly changing horizon, for each day to have a new and different sun. To see things in the seed, that is genius. The sage does not hoard. The more he does for others, the more he has. The wise are free from perplexities, the virtuous from anxiety, and the bold from fear. To regard the fundamental as the essence, to regard things as coarse, to regard accumulation as deficiency, and to dwell quietly alone with the spiritual and the intelligent, how can one avoid being deceived? The sage does not accumulate. The more he assists others, the more he possesses. When you look at things from the point of view of Tao, the best way to live is to follow the course of nature and leave the rest to chance. A tree growing out of the ground is as wonderful today as it ever was. It does not need to adopt new and startling methods. The more restrictions and limitations there are, the more poverty and pain there is. Life and death are one thread, the same line viewed from different sides. The way to do is to be. Great wisdom is generous. Petty wisdom is contentious. If you do not change direction, you may end up where you are heading. To a mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. The wise man looks into space and does not regard the small as too little, nor the great as too big, for he knows that there is no limit to dimensions. Quote, "The truly great man is one who does not lose his child's heart. Happiness is the absence of striving for happiness. The sage is self-effacing and scanty of words. The man who has forgotten the world has forgotten right and wrong. All things are nourished together without their injuring one another. The mind of the sage, being in repose, becomes the mirror of the universe. There is no greater danger than underestimating your opponent. The world is ruled by letting things take their course. It cannot be ruled by interfering. He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know. Truth has nothing to do with words. The wise are not learned. The learned are not wise. To regard the fundamental as the essence, to regard things as coarse, to regard accumulation as deficiency, and to dwell quietly in emptiness without dependence. Do not be concerned about the future. Keep your attention on today. To lead an uninstructed people to war is to throw them away. In the pursuit of learning, every day something is acquired. In the pursuit of Tao, every day something is dropped. A good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving. When you have names and forms, know that they are provisional. When you have institutions, know where their functions should end. If you want to shrink something, you must first allow it to expand. If you want to get rid of something, you must first allow it to flourish. The softest things in the world overcome the hardest things in the world. Knowing others is wisdom. Knowing yourself is enlightenment. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. The wise man is not concerned with gain. He is concerned with what is right. To find the Tao, you must transcend conventional wisdom and embrace the mysteries of life.